Hello everyone. It's us again, the creators of TV Days Drama Digest, and today we're excited to continue sharing with you the captivating, heart-pounding stories from days of our lives. As always, we aim to provide you with the most comprehensive and detailed rundown of what's happening in the world of Salem. If you missed today's broadcast, don't worry. This post will walk you through all the twists, turns, and emotional moments that occurred on September 11th. Trust us, you won't want to miss a single detail, as today's events are packed with drama and revelations. To start, let's talk about Gabby. There has been a lot of concern surrounding her lately. From the moment she stepped into the office this morning, tension was thick in the air. But we're happy to report that Gabby is okay. Yes, Gabby had her own whirlwind of drama today, but she received life-changing news. Rafe has woken up. You can only imagine how relieved she was. As soon as she heard that her brother had regained consciousness, Gabby didn't waste a single second. She left the office immediately, almost sprinting through the door, desperate to be by Rafe's side. This rapid exit didn't give Connie a chance to carry out any of her malevolent plans against Gabby, as we all know she was plotting something dangerous. But today, Gabby was a step ahead. For now, she escaped Connie's grasp, but for how long? While Gabby was on her way to the hospital, Jada was in a completely different situation. Jada arrived at Connie's place and was immediately struck by something odd. The door was unlocked. Alarm bells went off in her mind. Why was the door open? Should she proceed with caution or call for backup? Ignoring her hesitation, Jada slowly stepped inside. The tension in the air was thick, every creak of the floor seemed louder, and the hairs on her neck stood up. What could she be walking into? Just as Jada was about to enter Connie's bedroom, where she might have discovered a hidden Melinda, her phone buzzed. It was Paulina, calling her with urgent news. "Rafe is awake," she exclaimed. Torn between continuing her investigation and checking on Rafe, Jada chose the latter, leaving the apartment without finding Melinda. A missed opportunity, perhaps. But what could be more important than seeing Rafe finally awake after so much uncertainty? At the hospital, the mood was intense. Rafe, groggy but awake, was subjected to a series of medical tests. The doctors scrutinized every inch of his health, checking for any lasting damage from his coma. To everyone's relief, Rafe's memory and cognitive function seemed completely intact. Except for one small, critical detail, he had no idea how he had fallen into the coma. The mystery lingered in the air like a cloud over an otherwise sunny day. Soon, Rafe had an emotional reunion with Gabby and Jada. Tears of relief, joy, and unspoken fears flowed freely as the three embraced. It was a touching moment that hinted at how deeply intertwined their lives are. Gabby and Jada wasted no time updating Rafe on the tragic and shocking events that had transpired during his unconsciousness. They recounted the horrifying stabbing incident at the cemetery, laying out the details with heavy hearts. Rafe, to their surprise, remembered speaking to Paulina just moments before the incident. But then, his memory hit a wall. Try as he might, he couldn't remember who had plunged the knife into him. His brow furrowed in frustration. How could such a pivotal moment be shrouded in fog? Gabby and Jada then shared even more unsettling news, the confession and subsequent suicide of Everett/Bobby. Rafe was left speechless. His mind reeled as he tried to process the gravity of what had happened while he lay in a coma. The shock was palpable. Everett's suicide had rocked the town to its core, and now Rafe was grappling with this reality as well. The layers of mystery only seemed to deepen. As Rafe attempted to sort through his emotions, he heard a faint but familiar voice. It was Connie, echoing in his mind as he reflected on the events that led to his attack. But instead of confiding in Jada about the strange connection he felt to Connie in that moment, Rafe chose silence. Why wasn't he sharing this crucial piece of the puzzle? What was stopping him? The tension between what Rafe knows and what he's choosing to reveal, or rather, not reveal, left everyone wondering, what is he hiding? Back at Connie's apartment, a storm was brewing. Connie was seething with rage. The very thought of Gabby being happy, after everything, was more than she could bear. It wasn't just that Gabby was smiling, it was the fact that Gabby had slept with both Ij and Rafe that drove Connie to madness. She tossed and turned in fury, consumed by her hatred and the overwhelming desire for revenge. Rafe's sudden awakening only fueled her anger. Connie knew that Li Xin had made it clear, no more killing. But Connie's twisted mind couldn't help but see murder as the only way to make Gabby truly pay for her perceived betrayals. Her thoughts spiraled as she plotted her next move, despite Li's warnings. How far would she go to destroy Gabby's happiness? Meanwhile, over at the park, the situation took a turn for the strange. Stephanie began to suspect that something wasn't quite right with Abigail. She had caught her in a lie. It seemed small at first, but it was enough to raise red flags. Abigail hadn't spoken to Kayla about her treatment plan, despite saying she had. Stephanie was left in a state of confusion. Why would Abigail lie about something like this? But before Stephanie could dwell on it too long, Chad stepped in, trying to offer a logical explanation. He reasoned that Abigail was probably just overwhelmed and disoriented from dealing with so many new doctors and medical terms. Maybe it was just an innocent mistake. Or was it? At the DiMera mansion, Abigail found herself alone, standing before the imposing portrait of Stefano DiMera. She stared into his painted eyes, feeling the weight of her lies pressing down on her. Stefano had always been a figure of power and control, and now, in his absence, Abigail felt his judgment. She could almost hear him condemning her for deceiving his son. She wasn't proud of what she had done, but in her mind, she had no other choice. Family loyalty meant everything to Stefano, and she wanted to believe it meant just as much to her and her brother. As she spoke these thoughts aloud to the portrait, Steve arrived, overhearing her confession. Quickly, Abigail tried to cover her tracks, pretending she was talking about JJ instead of Chad. But Steve wasn't fooled. He pressed her about the lie she had told Stephanie, about having spoken to Kayla on the phone. Kayla, of course, had denied any such conversation. Abigail tried to act like it was all a misunderstanding, blaming the chaos and stress she had been under. But Steve wasn't letting it go. His suspicions were growing. The conversation took a deeper turn when Steve reflected on his own dark past, remembering the time he had believed himself to be Stefano. He understood all too well how it felt to lose a grip on reality, and this gave him even more reason to doubt Abigail's story. But she was firm in her denial. She admitted that, at first, she hadn't been sure she was really Chad's wife, but after a DNA test confirmed her identity, she had no doubts. She was Abigail DiMera, or so she claimed. Steve remained polite, offering his support to her and promising that both he and Kayla would be there for her. But as soon as he left, Abigail's mask began to crack. Inside, she was terrified. She realized that Steve's suspicions could become a very real problem. If he continued to dig, her carefully constructed story could come crashing down. She was walking a tightrope, and with every step, the danger of being exposed grew more and more real. And that, dear viewers, is the gripping tale we bring you today from Days of Our Lives. The tension is building, secrets are unraveling, and the stakes are higher than ever. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.